Good evening to all of you. So, yesterday we have already completed uh, uh, maximum. This is barriers of trade. What is trade barriers? And what is the overview of the trade barriers? What are the barriers can take in forms? And what are the tariffs? What is the impact of trade barrier business? Okay. What are the examples of free trade barriers? Okay, and we have also discussed what is multinational corporations in India. What is the factors? Okay, so today we're going to start the few examples. We're going to see few examples on multinational corporations. Okay, and how they do the trade with the other countries. So most of the largest and most influential companies of the modern age are publicly traded multinational. They have also been associated with multinational taxes have, and based on erosions and profit shifting tax avoiding activities. So here in the second paragraph, we come to know that in how the most influential companies, according to Forbes Global 2000 ratings, we come to know, and the global 2000 companies criticizes those standards, those multinational corporations because they are lacking ethical standards. They are means not means giving the tax on a right time. They are cheating. They are cheating with the taxes policies. They are also not means avoiding the taxes and activities. So these are some few negatives. You can say these are the few cons of this multinational enterprises. Okay. Now, if you overview the multinational corporations with few giants, what you can say, giant corporations, then we come to know how these corporations produces and the goods and services, and how they controlled the patent companies. Then we'll come to know. Let's see. Suppose, for an example, here Toyota is one of the world largest multinational corporations. Okay, that Toyota is one of the world largest multinational corporations with its headquarters in Toyota City, Japan. Okay, now a multinational corporations is usually a large corporation incorporated in one country which produces or sell goods or services in various countries. The two main characteristics of multinational corporations are large size and the fact that their worldwide activities are centrally controlled by the patent companies. Okay, so this multinational company Toyota, they incorporated with other countries. Okay, they have franchisee, they have their different franchises and different in country, which produces goods and services in various countries. Okay, now the two main characteristics of multinational companies are large size and fact the worldwide activities are centrally controlled by the patent companies. So for example, it is very clearly mentioned here about the franchisee companies and patent company. Suppose, for example, Toyota is a patent company which has been located, or which has its headquarter in Japan. Now, Toyota had different franchises, maybe in America, maybe in India, maybe in other places. Okay. Now, what this franchisee will do? The franchisee used to sell good products and and also sell the goods and services towards the customer. Now, in fact, this this franchisee companies is fully controlled by the patent companies. Okay, they have a fully controlled by the patent companies. What will be the prices? The patent company will going to fix whatever the strategies and policies about the productions, about the goods and services, that is also controlled by the patent companies. So like this way, this multinational companies, or you can say these giant companies, usually work. Now, some few more characteristic features of these multinational corporations or patent companies have been mentioned here. For example, import and exporting goods and services. This is the main factor. Next है making significant investment in foreign countries. This is also another important work of this patent companies. For example, suppose assume yourself, assume that this Toyota, the world largest multinational corporations, how it works? It works importing and exporting goods and services. This patent company also making significant investment in foreign companies. So for example, this Toyota company wants us to open another franchise in New Zealand. Assume that. Okay, now these are the criteria, or these are the features they used to do before investing. Now then, buying and selling license in foreign market. This patent companies used to buy license in the foreign markets. Okay, now, this foreign patent companies also engage in contract manufacturing, okay, permitting a local manufacturer in a foreign country to produce its product. Okay, suppose for an example, this Toyota company assume that it has its franchisee open in West Bengal. Okay, now in collaborations with this local companies, local manufacturing companies, they used to make an agreement that you sell your products, okay, you sell our products, we will going to give you the franchise, we will going to give you the patents, we will going to give you the investment, we will going to give you, provide you the every necessities or every what you can say, every facilities that for the better operations of the company. Okay, so this agreements is also done by this patent company, for example Toyota. Okay, next here, opening manufacturing facilities for assembly operations in foreign countries. These works, five or six works, main important work, this done by this patent company. So what is the remaining portions of the work? The main means these are the main factors done by the patent companies, and the franchises companies or the outlet in every countries, what their work is, their work is just to sell, just to produce goods, just to produce services, and just to get the feedback from the customers. This is only the work that the franchisee or outlet companies of any multinational company related to this patent company used to do. Now, multinational companies may gain from their global presence in variety of ways. How? First of all, multinational corporations or multinational companies can benefit from the economy of scale by spreading R&D expenditure, recurring and deposit, okay, R&D expenditures and advertising cost over the global scale. Okay, this is the first. Okay, next है pooling global purchasing power over suppliers and utilizing their technologies and managerial know how globally with minimal additional cost, with minimal additional cost. Furthermore, multinational can use their global presence to take advantage of the underpriced labor services available in certain developed countries and gain access to special R&D capabilities residing in advanced foreign countries. So these are the works, or these are the special varieties of work this global companies used to do. What is the work? They first of all they used to spread expenditure by and advertising cost in other countries. Again, in that particular country, they used to purchase the power suppliers utilizing their technologies. Okay, they simply utilizing their technologies and managerial skill just to know how globally with minimum additional cost they can gain profit. This is the few mottos. These are the mottos of patent, or you can say multinational corporations, just like Toyota. Ford. Okay, these are the big, huge companies. Okay, multinational corporations. They used to work in this procedures. Furthermore, multinational corporations can use global presence to take advantage of underpriced labor services. Definitely. They used to hire labor in a very underpriced. Okay. They used to hire the laborers in a very underpriced. They only have a one single motto in their mind, that is to gain profit. Anyhow, to gain more and more profit. Okay, that is why they basically used to set their setups, okay, with such countries where they get these facilities from that particular country. Okay, now and gain a special R&D capabilities residing in another country. The problem of moral and legal constraints upon the behavior of multinational corporations, given that they are effectively stateless actors, is one of several urgent global socio-economic problems that emerged during the late 20th century. The next, what is the main problem? Now they have also a problem. What is the problem? The main problem of legal law, okay, of constraint upon the behavior of multinational corporations, given that they are effectively stateless actors on any several urgent global socio-economic problem that emerged during the late 20th century. In the late 20th century, the trade business policies, the trade laws, the trade licensing, each and everything is being renewed or being changed. Okay, that is why in the late 20th century, these multinational corporations used to be get effectively in a stateless position. Stateless position. Stateless position means before 20th century, they used to hire any country. They used to get opportunities to work with other countries with minimum, you can say, with minimum investment, maximum profit. But gradually, when the laws is being changed, when the trade licensing law is also changed, when the policy strategies of that particular country of doing import and export business is getting changed, then does these multinational corporations remain stateless just like an actors? Okay, एक्टर्स यहाँ पर वर्ड इसलिए यूज किया गया है कि एक्टर्स को जब तक आप डायरेक्टर ऑर्डर नहीं देगा कि आप एक्टिंग कीजिए, you start your acting, तब तक that particular actor, he or she, remain in a stateless position. The same with this multinational corporations also. Before, if they are not getting any green signal from the of any other countries where they used to set up an outlet, where they used to set up an organizations in other countries, they remain in a stateless position. उसकी कुछ हिम्मत नहीं है कुछ वहां जाके कुछ काम करने का. फर्स्ट करो टोयोटा कंपनीज जो कि जापान में है, अगर वो इंडिया में आके कुछ काम करना चाहता है, सेटअप लगाना चाहता है, आउटलेट करना चाहता है, या फिर अपना प्रोडक्शन को एनहेंस करना चाहता है, तो सबसे पहले यहाँ के गवर्नमेंट से उनके लॉस के बारे में, उनका स्किल के बारे में, टेक्नोलॉजीज के बारे में, या फिर क्या लाइसेंसिंग का लाइसेंसिंग का प्रोसीड्यूर्स क्या है, ये सब जानकारी लेना पड़ेगा. ठीक है, वो अचानक से आके यहाँ से बिजनेस सेटअप नहीं कर सकता. ये पहले होता था बिफोर 20th सेंचुरीज. ओके, बट अभी ये ग्रेजुअली चेंजेस हो रहा है. तो सबसे बड़ा प्रॉब्लम अब ये मल्टीनेशनल कंपनीज को ये दिक्कतें आ रही है, बिकॉज इन एवरी कंट्री द लॉज इज सम डिफरेंट, the activities is different, the licensing trade license is something different. So it's very much difficult for them, in late 20th centuries multinational corporations, to have a setup business in that any particular countries. Okay, this is the main problem. The next है, potentially the best concept of analyzing society's government's limitations over modern corporation is the concept of stateless corporations, coined at least as early as 1991 Business Week. The concept was theoretically clarified in 1993 that an empirical strategy for defining a stateless corporation is with analytical tools and the intersections between demographic analysis and transportation research. The intersections is known as logistic management, and it describes the importance of rapidly increasing global mobility of resources. In a long history of analysis of multinational corporations, we are some quarter century into an era of stateless corporations which meet the realities of the needs of social source materials on a worldwide basis and to produce and customize products for individual countries. Okay, so one of the first multinational business organization, the East India Company, this is the first multinational business organization, East India Company, was established in the year 1601. After the East India Company came Dutch East India Company, founded in March 20, 1603, which would become the largest company in the world for nearly 200 years. जो हम 200 साल गुलाम थे, इसी कारण थे ईस्ट इंडिया कंपनीज जब यहाँ पर आया था, द फर्स्ट फॉरेन कंपनीज, मल्टीनेशनल कंपनीज यहाँ पर आए थे. Why? Because we don't have the policies, we don't have the Indians, we don't have the policies, we don't have the strategies. Okay, every particular state or every particular means you can district is been divided. It has been divided. Look at the strategy and policy of the East India Company. That is why they ruled for 200 years. उस वक्त हमारे यहाँ पर क्या था, जो भी स्टेट डिस्ट्रिक्ट था वो बटा हुआ था. फॉर दिस पर्टिकुलर एरिया दिस इज द किंग, फॉर दिस पर्टिकुलर एरिया ही इज द किंग, he or she is the king. So what this East India Company used to do, they come here and made research on this, and they find that each and every states or each and every, you can say, district or area of this particular country is been divided. Now their first important motto is to make them aware of the purpose of their coming and the business they want to set up. Okay, that's why East India Company lure with a lot of monetary or financial help to these kings. Okay, and finally they win the heart. They win the, what you can say, they win the, उसने भरोसा जीत लिया उस कंट्री, उस राजा का भरोसा जीता. ग्रेजुअली दे विन द हार्ट ऑफ द किंग्स. ओके, एंड फाइनली दे सेट अप द बिजनेस. उसने ये बोल के आया था कि हम यहाँ पर कंपनी बिजनेस करने के लिए आए हैं, लेकिन ये पता नहीं था कि जब उनको पता चला ईस्ट इंडिया कंपनीज को कि ये सब एकजुट नहीं है, दे आर ऑल डिवाइडेड, और इसी डिविजन्स की वजह से इन्होंने इतने साल राज किया. ओके, दिस इज द फर्स्ट स्ट्रेटेजी. उसके बाद क्या है, ट्रांसपोर्टेशन रिसर्च. ये बताता है दैट द ट्रांसपोर्टेशन रिसर्च, ये एनालिसिस करके ईस्ट इंडिया कंपनी को या डच ईस्ट इंडिया कंपनी जो कि मार्च 1603 को इस्टेब्लिश हुआ था, ये पता चला कि इफ वी वांट टू डू द बिजनेस, द ओनली वे टू डू द बिजनेस इज टू रूल दिस कंट्री. Okay, now there is only one way to import or export the business, that is the sea way. Now they also establishes the railways, they also establishes the platforms. इसका आपको जीता जाता एग्जाम्पल मिल जाएगा. ठीक है, if you go to the Howrah, if you go to the Shialda, this was the first East India Company has developed. Okay, यहाँ से उसको बिजनेस करने में बहुत सहूलियत मिलने लगा. This is also before the era. Now another thing is that because of this logistic management and demographic analysis, मैंने ये कहा था कि बटा हुआ, demographic means geographically divided each and every sectors. इनको क्या हुआ, इनको एक डिफाइन मिल गया, इनको एक डेफिनेशन मिल गया कि yes, we can come here and we can set up the business very easily. Okay, and according to the demographic location, this is the right place to do the business. And gradually the scenario of business is changed. यहाँ पर पहले कैसे बिजनेस किया जाता था एक्चुअली इन द 16th century और 17th century, ये बताया गया है. This is the historical part of multinational companies. Okay, that is why it is mentioned the first multinational business organization set up in the 1600 era, that is East India Company. Okay, the next one is Dutch East India Company. सबसे बड़ा था जर्मन का. सबसे बड़ा था, जो कि 1603 को मार्च 20 को इस्टेब्लिश हुआ था। ओके, स्टिल नाउ यू विल सरप्राइज टू नो दैट इफ यू विजिट स्टिल नाउ इन सम ऑफ द प्लांट्स, अभी भी वहां पर जर्मन मेड्स machineries, German made technologies, German made equipments we are using till now. जैसे फॉर एग्जाम्पल सीएनजी, और यू कैन से जो जेबीएल जो मशीन्स होते हैं, these all are being imported from still now from German. Okay, because German at that era still now is being quite higher in the technological part, in the technological field. Okay. Now, next है, what are the main characteristics of multinational companies? This may going to come to your examination, that what is the main characteristics of these multinational companies? Number one, in general, there is a national strength of large companies as the main body in the way of foreign direct investment or acquire local enterprises, establish subsidiaries or branch in many countries. Okay, so in general, the first characteristics of these multinational companies is that the national strength of that large companies and the main body in the way of foreign direct investment or acquire local enterprises, establish subsidiaries or branch in many countries. Okay, so this is the first characteristics of this multinational company, just to develop or just to do a direct investment or just to acquire the local business or just to acquire the local, or you can say the small scale enterprises, the small scale business. And gradually these multinational companies try to establish a subsidiaries branch, एक छोटा सा ब्रांच ना मिडिल स्केल या स्मॉल स्केल इंडस्ट्रीज के बगल में जाके खोल देते थे. एंड दिस इज द वे दे ग्रेजुअली डेवलप टू अ लार्ज एंड मल्टीनेशनल स्केल. डेफिनेटली ना, इसका एक सीधा सा एग्जांपल मैं देता हूं. फॉर एग्जांपल, अब देखिएगा, आज से बड़ा इंडस्ट्री जो कहा जाता है वो एजुकेशन इंडस्ट्री है. दैट्स व्हाई आई एम यूजिंग द वर्ड एजुकेशन इंडस्ट्री. सबसे पहले कोई भी आप जस्ट इंटर रिलेटेड इंटरसिटी में देख लीजिए. जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल यू विल अंडरस्टैंड बेटर. ओके, कोई भी इंटरसिटी में आप देख लीजिए, जिसका जो पेटेंट ब्रांच है वो दिल्ली में है, अहमदाबाद में. अब उस यूनिवर्सिटी को, उस एजुकेशनल सेंटर को लगता है कि जमशेदपुर इज अ वेरी गुड प्लेस फॉर द एजुकेशन, वी कैन ओपन एन आउटलेट. वो सिंपल एक छोटा सा आउटलेट कोई भी एक लोकेशंस में वो रेंट पे ले लेते हैं. उसके बाद ग्रेजुअली within the 2 to 3 years you will going to see that they really develop, and they develop and is so much that particular outlet changes to a university. This is the market strategy, and this is the characteristics of this multinational companies. They used to go to this, they used to visit the countries, they used to do the analysis what type of business can be projected here, and finally they set up a small enterprises. They make a collaborations with the small enterprises. ठीक है, उसके बाद दे यूज टू ग्रो, ग्रेजुअली दे यूज टू ग्रो, और वो इतना बड़ा ह्यूज हो जाता है that it turn down to the multinational corporations. और इसका सबसे जीता जाता एग्जांपल्स अगर है, इट्स एन एमिटी यूनिवर्सिटी. You just see the upgradations, or you just see how its franchise is being turned down to the university. Or Techno India University. Look at the franchisee, each and every part in the 2015 or 10 era. These all are the records, or these are the parameters that I'm sharing with you, just to make clear that multinational corporations का main characteristics कैसा होता है. Techno India, okay, they used to have a one university in eastern part, that is in Salt Lake. Now, if you search on Google that how many universities are now they are establishing and how many schools are there, you will surprised to know that there are 16 to 17 universities they have been set up all over the India, maximum. Okay, what is they used to do? They used to capture that particular, they used to capture that particular, they used to go and relocate to that particular district, and just simply for 1 or 2 years they open a franchisee over there, they open an outlet over there, and within the 3 or 4 years it just turned down to the university. Now you will surprised to know that this Techno India, which we have a colleges in Dumka, Chaibasa, now they have opened an university with another name, Sister Nivedita University. Now it's have a lot of franchisee in Dumka, Chaibasa, Kiriburu. Okay, and now after 4 or 5 years, you will going to see that these franchisee or outlet will turn to the university. This is the main important characteristics of this multinational corporations. Okay, come to the next. It usually have a complete decision making system and the highest decision making center. Each subsidiary or a branch has its own decision making body according to their different features and operations to make decisions, but a decision must be subordinated to the highest decision making center. The same thing, another important characteristics of this multinational company is decision making, which is one of the most important part. Okay, every outlet or every, you can say, organizations which has a setup in every countries, they have their own policies, they have their own strategies, and they have their own decision making capacities. But every decisions or every strategies policies is reconnected or collaborated or coordinated with the main branch. Okay, this is the second important characteristics of this multinational company. The third one is multinational corporations seek multinational multinational corporation help market in the worldwide and rational production layout, professional fixed point productions, fixed point sales productions in order to achieve maximum profit. Now they have a different game plan. What they used to do, just to capture the market worldwide now, they used to lay out the some fixed points, such as fixed point scale, fixed price raise, fixed product, fixed order, max, just to achieve this maximum profit. इसका सिंपल एग्जांपल, कोई कोई दुकान आप लोग जाते होंगे तो उस दुकान में लिखा रहेगा, देखिएगा बोर्ड टंगा हुआ है, फिक्स्ड प्राइस, बस इतना ही लिखा है, और जो भी एमआरपी रहेगा उस पर वही सेम एमआरपी में आपको मतलब शूज खरीदना पड़ेगा. दिस इज अ स्ट्रेटेजी, दिस इज अ डिफरेंट गेम प्लान. आप बार्गेन नहीं करेंगे, उसमें वो मैक्सिमम प्रॉफिट भी कर ले रहा है, कम बातचीत करने को मिल रहा है, क्योंकि आप ज्यादा बार्गेन तो करेंगे नहीं, बिकॉज आप कुछ बार्गेन नहीं कर सकते कि 10 रुपया घटा दीजिए या 20 रुपया बढ़ा कम कर दीजिए. नो, देयर इज नो बार्गेन. वट एवर द चार्जेस बिंग on the product written on MRP, you need to pay for that. So this is the another strategy of this multinational corporations. The third one, due to the strong economic and technical strength, with the first information transmission, stronger competitive in this world. Due to this economic, due to their economic strength, due to their economic strategies and policies and technical strength, they used to transmit rapidly in a cross border, and they used to gain a maximum profit. Economically, this multinational corporations are so strong now. Their strategies, their business trade policies are so strong that they gradually transfer their strategies to the other countries where they have their franchisee, and they used to gain maximum profit. Okay, the next one, this is the another strategy, or this is the another characteristic features of this multinational corporations. Another one, many large multinational companies have varying degrees of monopoly in some area due to economic and technical strength or production advantages. Somehow कुछ कुछ जगह पर ये मोनोपोली स्टार्ट कर देते हैं. ओके, दे यूज्ड टू हैव अ दो दे हैव अ सेटअप इन दोस कंट्रीज. ओके, बट दे हैव varying degree of monopolies. They used to do the monopoly, and in some way area, due to the economic and technical strength or productions activity and quality of the product, they gain advantage from creating this monopoly in between their own companies. Okay, in between their own companies. This is also a game plan they have in their mind. Okay, So these are the few important characteristic features of this multinational corporations. Come to the next, foreign direct investment, FDI, foreign direct investment. What is the meaning of this? When a corporation invests in the country which is not domiciled, it is called foreign direct investment, FDI. Countries may place restrictions on direct investments. For example, China has historically required what you can say partnership with a local firm or special approval for certain type of investment by foreigners. Although some of these restrictions were eased in 2019. Similarly, the United States Committee on Foreign Investment in the United States scrutinizes foreign investments. Okay, let's the line is not clear, so I'm repeating it again. What is FDI? When if corporations, okay, invest in the country which is not domiciled country, okay, इस तरह का इन्वेस्टमेंट जो भी कॉरपोरेशंस करते हैं कुछ भी कंट्रीज में जो कि डोमिसाइल नहीं है, डायरेक्ट इन्वेस्टमेंट करते हैं, उसे एफडीआई कहते हैं, फॉरेन डायरेक्ट इन्वेस्टमेंट। अकॉर्डिंग टू दिस it is called foreign direct investment. Countries countries may place restrictions on direct investment. Okay, for example, China has historically required partnership with local firm or special approval for certain type of investment by the foreigners, although some of these restrictions were eased in 2019. Okay, ठीक है। तो इसका मतलब क्या है, फॉरेन डायरेक्ट इन्वेस्टमेंट उस कंट्रीज में किया जाता है जिस कंट्रीज में डोमिसाइल नहीं है, जो कंट्री डोमिसाइल नहीं है। दूसरी बात, जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल चाइना ने दे रिक्वायर अ पार्टनरशिप, चाइना रिक्वायर अ पार्टनरशिप विद लोकल फर्म्स। व्हाई? बिकॉज दे नीड एंड गुड्स। मैंने कल आपसे कहा था ना, बिफोर दिस क्लासेस आई हैव ऑलरेडी टोल्ड यू, अगर लोकल मार्केट के साथ आप अगर कोलैबोरेशन नहीं करोगे, कोलैब नहीं करोगे, देन हाउ कैन यू प्रोड्यूस, फ्रॉम वेयर यू विल गोइंग टू गेट द रॉ मटेरियल्स? Okay, so this is the first important things in the barriers of trade business. I have already mentioned this point, that these multinational corporations, they have a policies. They used to make a collab with this local market. Why? Because with the collab with this foreign market, they directly going to get this what is the raw materials. So China is also having this special investment with the foreigners, just or with the local markets, just to get this raw material. And investment on this raw material, they finally produce the goods and they export the goods and trying to get profit out of this. This is called FDI, foreign direct investment. Okay. Now, with the foreign collaborations, look, what I have told you, it is given in the second part. Foreign collaborations. The meaning of foreign collaborations is depicted in the following chart. Okay, the chart is the chart. Foreign collaborations. Look, it is a mutual cooperation between one or more resident and non-resident entities. It is a strategic alliance between one or more resident and non-resident entities. It is formed only when one or more non-resident entities collaborate with. So there is a lot of definitions been given over here, that what foreign collaborations is all about. During the process of seeking permissions, the collaborating entities prepare a preliminary agreements. After seeking government permission, resident and non-resident entity sign preliminary agreement and contract is executed from the foreign collaborations. Okay, now this, look at the colors. This purple color is the first thing. Then comes to the next, a little bit of blue color. The changes of color, look at the changing of the colors. Starting from here, foreign collaborations, look at the purple color. The tenure means term, is specified with a written contract. When any foreign companies making a foreign collaborations or making any collaborations with any other countries, they particularly the first thing they used to do, they used to make a written contract. Then comes to next, collaborating entities share their profit as per the profit sharing ratio mentioned in the executed contract. Then comes, after signing the contract, they used to share the profit as per the contract, that how much profit you will going to share within. Out of 100%, suppose the foreign collaborations the 40/60, the ratio would be 40/60. Assume the ratio would be 50/50, ratio would be 70/30. So this is an, after the signing of the contract, they used to talk on the sharing the profit. Then comes to the next, after establishing foreign collaboration, residents and non-resident entities start between together in the domestic country. Now after this sharing or after this profit sharing part is executed, then there is an establishment, then there is an another collaborations, that is resident and non-resident, means foreign companies collaborating with the local market. Okay, and they used to together, they used to set up in the domestic country, and they used to talk on the sharing investment on this. Then comes to the next is, look at the changing color. Okay, then look at the next, after seeking government permission, resident and non-resident entities signing preliminary agreement and contract is executed to form a foreign collaboration. After the permissions, after getting permissions, after getting trade license from the government, they used to sign a contract on resident and non-resident entities. Okay, means import and export type of business. Okay, what are they are having from the local markets, what are the goods they will going to be get it from the local market, how they used to get it into final products, and finally how they used to execute it those products to the other markets, export to the other markets. So these are the collaborations they used to execute it through the signing. Okay, the next one is, during a process of permissions, the collaborating entity prepare a preliminary agreement. Okay, after every part, after the signing the resident part or non-resident part, they again sign a preliminary agreement. And what is that agreement? Before initiation, it require an approval from the government of the domestic country. Okay, after the execution process, sharing profit, non-resident part, everything is over. Again, they need to sign an approval from the government of that domestic country. Okay, गवर्नमेंट ऑफ दैट डोमेस्टिक कंट्री. फॉर एग्जांपल सपोज दिल्ली में, मैं इसको अच्छी तरह से आपको समझा देता हूं. सपोज अमेरिका और दिल्ली ने एक फॉरेन कोलैबोरेशन साइन किया. ठीक है, साइनिंग हो गया, एग्रीमेंट्स हो गया, एग्रीमेंट्स एग्जीक्यूटेड हो गया, प्रॉफिट शेयरिंग सब कुछ हो गया. अब क्या करना चाहता है दिल्ली में, सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट ने ये हिदायत दी झारखंड सरकार को कि आपके यहां पर इस तरह का कंपनीज का रीओपनिंग होने वाला है. Now, what these foreign collaborations will do? They again executed a signing contract with this domestic government. Okay, this is the next process. After that is formed only when one or two non-resident entities collaborated with the more resident entities. And after that, again the same part, the same process is being followed. Signing the collaborations with the resident entities, alliances between one or more residents companies, and finally it's cooperations between more resident and resident entities. Okay, so this is the way the foreign collaborations going on between this one country with the other countries, or with the foreigners to the native country. Now, following important points, the following important points convey the meaning of foreign collaborations. Number one, foreign collaborations is a mutual cooperations between one or more resident and non-resident entities. जो मैंने समझाया है, अब देखो ये पॉइंट वाइज यहां पर दिया गया है. क्या दिया गया है? Foreign collaborations is a mutual cooperations between one or more resident and non-resident entities. In other words, for example, an alliance, a union, or an association between an abroad-based company and a domestic company forms a collaborations. Whatever I have told you, the same thing is being described in a in this following points. The next point is, it is a strategic alliance. Alliance का मतलब है mutual understanding or mutual cooperation. It is a strategic alliance between one or more resident and non-resident entities. Resident here means local, resident here means domestic, non-resident means abroad, foreign entities or foreign companies. Okay, only only two or more resident native entities cannot make a foreign collaborations possible. For its formation, as per as the above definition, it is mandatory that one or more non-resident foreign entities must always collaborate with one or more resident, or you can say domestic entities. देखो, look at the third point. Third point is very much important. ये बता रहा है कि it is cannot be a strategic alliances between one or more resident or one or more non-resident entities. Okay, foreign collaborations can only be approved, or foreign collaborations only be executed as per the informations given, that it is mandatory that one or more non-resident foreign entities, one or more non-resident foreign entities, look at these words, okay, means one, एक या उससे ज्यादा फॉरेन बेस्ड अब्रॉड कंपनीज जो है मस्ट हैव कोलैबोरेशंस इक्वली विथ वन और मोर रेसिडेंट एंटिटीज। दो कंपनी एक साथ आके एक जगह पर एक ही कंट्री के साथ या एक डोमेस्टिक रेसिडेंस के साथ बिजनेस नहीं कर सकता। अगर एक है तो एक के साथ, एक से ज्यादा है तो एक से ज्यादा डोमेस्टिक रेसिडेंस में जाके आपको बिजनेस करना पड़ेगा। इट इज अ मैंडेटरी प्रोसेस। Okay, so these the third point, which says that one or more non-resident entities must have collaborated with one or more resident entities. Come to the next. Before stating a foreign collaborations, both entities, for example, a resident and non-resident company, must always seek approval, means permission, from the government authority of domestic country. जैसे मैंने अभी आपको वो डायग्राम में समझाया, the same process is being here, that you need to have permissions from the local governments or from the local authorities, government authorities. The fifth one, during an ongoing process of seeking permission, the collaborating entities prepare a preliminary agreements. Okay, come to the next. I don't think this points needed to be explained. It's a very simple way that after you, if you want to have a permissions to do a business in with foreign collaborations, you need to prepare an agreements. Okay, the sixth point is, according to this preliminary agreement, for example, the non-resident company agrees to provide finance, technology, machinery, know-how, the management, consultancy, technical expert, and so on. On the other hand, resident company promises to supply cheap labor, low cost and quality raw materials, ample land for the setting factories. The sixth point is very much important. What are the in the agreement between non-resident and resident, what are the following parameters, or what are the following things in you need to be know? The foreign collaborations or foreign company or non-resident company agrees to provide only finance, technology, machinery, equipments, management and consultancy और टेक्निकल एक्सपर्ट, ये सारा कुछ नॉन रेसिडेंट प्रोवाइड करता है। और रेसिडेंट कंट्री जहां पर जाके ये बिजनेस सेटअप करना चाहता है, उस कंट्री का गवर्नमेंट क्या प्रॉमिस करता है, दैट आई विल गोइंग टू प्रोवाइड यू द चीप लेबर, ओके, I will going to provide a quality raw material, and I will also provide you the ample of land for setting your factories. So this sixth point is very, very important for the multiple choice questions also, and also for this essay type questions. This question is very much important. It will definitely going to come to your examination. Okay, ये preliminary agreements में कहा जाए कि गवर्नमेंट प्रोवाइड करते हैं कि मैं सबसे चिप लेबर आपको दूंगा, अच्छा क्वालिटी प्रोडक्शन आपको, अच्छा रॉ मटेरियल्स आपको सप्लाई करूंगा, और आपको जितनी जमीन की जरूरत है मैं आपको वो एम्पल लैंड आपको प्रोवाइड करूंगा, ताकि आप अपना फैक्ट्रीज यहाँ पर सेटअप कर सको। The seventh point, after obtaining the necessary permissions, individual representative of a resident and non-resident entity sign this preliminary agreement. Okay, after this agreement process is over, after the contextual execution is over, executed, they sign, both the non-resident company entities and a resident company entities, they used to have a sign signature. Signature act as a written acceptance to this each other expectations. in terms and conditions. What is the meaning of signature over here? Signature means accepting both of their proposals, accepting both's proposal. Okay, I am accepting your proposal, you are also accepting my proposal. It means a mutual agreement between non-resident and resident companies. Okay, the eighth one. Okay, all contract are agreed, but all agreements are not necessary to be contract. Okay, देखो, look at the words, look at this line. All contracts are agreements. Every contract is an agreement. Okay, but all agreements needed not necessarily to be contract. हर एक कॉन्टैक्ट एग्रीमेंट हो सकता है, लेकिन हर एक एग्रीमेंट कॉन्टैक्ट नहीं हो सकता है। इसका मतलब ये भरोसा नहीं है कि मैं आपको पिछले 5 साल के लिए चीप लेबर आपको प्रोवाइड करूंगा, पिछले 5 साल के लिए मैं आपको प्रोडक्शन रॉ मटेरियल्स चीप वे में प्रोवाइड करते रहूंगा, नहीं। इसलिए यहाँ पर ये वर्ड किया गया है, यूज किया गया है कि हर एक कॉन्ट्रैक्ट एग्रीमेंट हो सकता है, लेकिन हर एक एग्रीमेंट कॉन्ट्रैक्ट नहीं हो सकता है। दिस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। लुक एट द एट पॉइंट। After establishing foreign collaboration, resident and non-resident entity start business together in a domestic country. उसके बाद gradually the mutual understanding, the mutual agreements, mutual terms and conditions. After signing the mutual terms and conditions, they used to set up and establish business in the domestic country. Ninth one is collaborating entities sharing their profit as per the profit sharing ratio mentioned in the executed contract. After setup, after the productions, the entities means non-resident entities and resident entities, they share their profit as per the agreements. The last one is the term of the foreign collaboration is specified in written context, means for how many years you will going to be you will going to do the business, for how many years you will going to have this collaborations, या टेक्निक या टेन्योर कितना सालों तक चलना है। उसके बाद अगर लगा गवर्नमेंट को, लोकल रेसिडेंट को लगा कि दिस कंपनी इज डूइंग ए प्रॉफिट, दिस कंपनी after having this company in this domestic areas we are gaining the profit, then they will going to sign for another 5 years of contract। ठीक है, कॉन्ट्रैक्ट रिन्यूअल होते रहते हैं, कॉन्ट्रैक्ट चेंजेस होते रहते हैं। so these are the main important points you will going to remember, that this is the way they used to do the foreign collaborations, and these are the following points. On the basis of this, they used to do the direct investment with resident company, with the resident entities. Okay, it's been clearly mentioned with the beautiful diagram. Okay, this diagram is very much beautiful. It is really very important. Okay, so tomorrow we will going to start with this examples of foreign collaborations. Okay, this will going to start. It is another example of it's a very example given with the university, with startup, with bank, with CIC insurance. It's really very good examples have been mentioned over here with the beautiful diagram been here. So we will going to see what are the how the foreign collaborations used to do with these companies, and how they invest through the banks, and what are the examples of these foreign collaborations, and how they invest with the in local markets, or how they used to produce the goods with the local market. We will going to see. I have already told you about the educational centers. I have just given you the about examples on educational center. Look here, the examples of Sikkim Manipal University. SMU is one of the India's largest university nowadays. It's all are means what you can say, these are the universities which are being listed in the top priorities. MIT, Sikkim Manipal universities. Okay, then comes to the Nirma University. These all are the means premier universities. Now, how this university used to collaborate with the domestic areas, and they open an outlet, and after opening an outlet, after 4 or 5 years, I have just told you, they turn into the university. So, what are the procedures? What are the general way they used to do this type of organ, they used to do the business? Okay, now this is one important, and another important thing, this education center, I have already told you, is a big business, is a big industry nowadays. Okay, because this industry will only have a huge profits. Okay, is only going to have a huge profit, and it will never ever going to stop. Okay, so tomorrow we will going to learn how the foreign collaborations means depicted with some Indian collaborations, how they depicted with some local collaborations. Okay, tomorrow we're going to thank you for today's class. Have a good day.